the world's most famous UFO sightings. For decades, strange lights and mysterious objects have been seen in our skies. From Roswell to the Phoenix Lights, from the depths of Brazil to the deserts of Nevada. Join us as we explore the most famous UFO sightings in history. Hear the stories, see the evidence, and decide for yourself. Are we really alone? The truth is right here.
1947. This is the year it all went off. The number of UFO sightings went bonkers. It must have been a great time to be a UFO enthusiast. Imagine sitting at home and hearing about all these wonderful sightings happening around the world. So far, all we've seen on the UFO front is our friend Ken Arnold's 9 silver shoe heel flying saucers. But in 1947, that was about to bring us ufologists euphorgasms. Is that a word? Well, it is now. 1947. Oh boy, where do we start? So let's do it chronologically, shall we? So move over Roswell as other UFO events happened before that.
Case file number 3, the Kenneth Arnold sighting. Mount Rainier, Washington, June 24th, 1947.
Okay, let's have an absolute classic of a UFO case for you with private pilot and businessman Kenneth Arnold. It was June 24th, 1947, when good old Ken took off on his little single-seater plane from Chehalis, Washington, on his way to an air show in Pendleton, Oregon, with a planned fuel stop at Yakeema, Washington. He was an experienced pilot with 4,000 hours of flying time and a part-time member of the Idaho Search and Rescue unit. He planned to detour a bit en route because a US C-46 transport plane had crashed with 32 US Marines on board somewhere near him, and Arnold hoped to find the downed aircraft and claim a $5,000 reward. It was then Ken saw 9 crescent-shaped objects flying in a formation and noted their incredible speed, estimating them to be moving at around 1,200 to 1,700 miles per hour, much faster than any known aircraft at the time. Arnold's sighting was widely reported in the media, with the term flying saucers quickly becoming part of ufology speak. Ken emphatically denied that he initially described the objects as flying saucers, but used the terms saucer, disc, and pie pan in his description of the objects. The government's reaction? Well, the US military of course downplayed Ken's sighting, suggesting that the objects he saw were likely a mirage or reflections from the terrain, or he could have been observing experimental military aircraft. Well, that's possible. Or it might have been atmospheric phenomena. Yeah, right. Blame it on the weather. Our friend Donald Kehoe believed him, by the way. However, the Air Force became increasingly concerned about the public's fascination with UFOs after that, leading to the establishment of Project Blue Book in 1952 to investigate UFO sightings. It only took them 5 years to do that. So boy, did Ken get heaps of skepticism and criticism and lots of other isms, I bet. Kenneth Arnold remained a vocal activist for UFO research throughout his life. He spoke at conferences and wrote articles discussing his experiences. The event had an incredible influence on pop culture in the depiction of UFOs in movies and books. His sighting inspired a generation of UFO enthusiasts, with a notable increase in UFO reports across the United States. Even the day after his encounter, several other witnesses claimed to have seen similar objects, including 2 UFO photographs, sometimes called the shoe heel UFO photographs, that show a disc-like object flying above Phoenix, Arizona, which actually resembles the objects Ken saw. The 2 photographs were reportedly taken on July 7, 1947 by amateur astronomer and inventor William Albert Rhodes. Then there's a connection to Roswell right here. This event set the stage for the Roswell incident later that summer in July 1947, which further entrenched the idea of UFOs and government secrecy in the public psyche. Sid, tell us something we don't know about this case.
This is the VOTFI 173 Flying Pancake. It resembles the form of the aircraft that Arnold drew in his initial report. Looking at the aircraft, I seriously doubt anyone had the audacity to actually make 9 of these. Out of the 9 objects, one of them had been darker than the others and of a slightly different form. There were several other witnesses to the crafts on the same day as Arnold, but the biggest sighting occurred 10 days later on July 4th, when a United Airlines crew en route to Seattle also spotted 5 to 9 disc-like objects that paced their plane for 10 to 15 minutes before suddenly disappearing.
And what's the most unusual thing you've found, Sid?
This book on Amazon, which features some of the original content of Kenneth Arnold. The author is obviously having a laugh by using the name of Carlos Allende. Carlos Miguel Allende, or Carl Meredith Allen, born in 1925, was an American merchant mariner who claimed during World War II he witnessed the Philadelphia experiment. Allende died in 1994. This book was published in 2021. I find that very strange indeed.
Good stuff, Sid. So that's our Kenneth Arnold story in detail.
Join us next time for more UFO incidents and unexplained encounters on the world's most famous UFO sightings.